don't even look. I don't even know the same. I'm already like messed up. We're gonna start over. And action. Hey y'all. That's weird. I don't like it. Cut. Marker. Set. Action. Hey y'all. I want to do this. I can't even tell you how many times I took that damn class. 4, 5, 6 times. I failed them all. I got all F's. Hey y'all, it's Michael, your dental Queer-Gienist. I am so excited to be starting this channel, and I am so excited to start my dental hygiene journey. I was recently accepted into dental hygiene school in April, and it's August now, so we've been working on basically getting all of our books, getting all of our purchasing instruments, paying for classes, submitting background checks, drug tests, basically the whole beginning process of getting into dental hygiene, or starting dental hygiene school. So I want to take it back, actually. I want to take it all the way back, and I want to help out some people out there who are trying to get into dental hygiene school. I want to help y'all out, okay? Because when I first started thinking about going to dental hygiene school, I honestly just kind of dove in head first. I didn't have any leeway into it. I didn't have any guidance or any kind of help. So I want to be that guidance for some people, okay? Because honestly, I just kind of went in and it worked out for me. I'm so thankful. I'm not gonna lie, I worked really hard and tried my best, but it really just worked out for me. So let's kind of get started on a little background with me, okay? I'm 26 years old. I graduated high school all the way back in 2014, okay? Girl, it's been almost 10 years. So if there's one thing that you should learn from this video, that you can take away from this video, is that don't give up. It's never too late, okay? I have friends who are doctors. I have friends who are pharmacists. I know people who are urologists. I know people who are dentists. I eventually want to be a dentist. That's what I'm working towards. But I know all these people, and they're my age. They're 26, 27. I know people who are doctors at 25. But that doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? You take your time and you take your journey, and no one can define that for you. No one can determine when you're going to be ready for school. No one can determine whenever you're going to be prepared for the next step of your life. So you have to take control of that, and also take your time. Take your time. Honestly, I did a lot of comparing to other people. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it at all. Okay, so let's get to the real important stuff, okay? Let's get to the good stuff. All right, so y'all know I graduated in 2014, and in high school I did a lot of speech and debate, and I did a lot of theater, okay? So whenever I left high school, I went straight to community college, and I was just gonna get a communications degree. And then when I got to community college, I realized there was actually a speech and debate team there. And me and my best friend competed for the Lone Star College speech and debate team for a couple years, actually. And it was awesome. It was great. I joined the speech and debate team, and we did pretty well on the community college circuit. So after 2016, the summer of 2016, I received a full ride scholarship to an HBCU, to Wiley College, for speech and debate, home of the great debaters. So I actually went there for a year, and I was working on my communications degree. So I picked up some classes there as well, English 1302, ethics class, and some more stuff over there. And then 2017, I ended up leaving there and coming back home. And then I basically went back to community college. Wiley just wasn't for me. It was great. I had a 3.8 GPA when I left. I had straight A's. I only got 1 B, and let me tell you, I was so mad about that B, y'all. But I came back with a great GPA, and I started community college again. And then that's when all hell broke loose, okay? That's when all hell broke loose. Y'all, this isn't a story of 100% triumph. Michael didn't get straight A's his whole his whole college career. Michael didn't make the best decisions. This is a real story, okay? 2017, I come back. Oh my God, was I telling? No, I wasn't. Okay. 2017, I come back to community college, and I'll be completely honest with you, 2017 hit, and Hurricane Harvey happens. And basically, I forget I even signed up for classes. You know what I'm saying? And during 2017, Lord, let me tell you, let's see. I came back, I took PE, US history. Yeah, PE and US history, okay? That's what I came back to take, okay? In the fall of 2017, I got an F in PE. And then in the summer of 2018, I got 2 more Fs. I got an F in PE again, and I got an F in my US history class. And then that next fall, 2018, I got a D in that same US history class. So guys, let me tell you, okay? Let me tell you, this isn't a 100% story of triumph. You know, I didn't have the perfect GPA. I didn't have the straight A's, okay? So this is to tell you to keep pushing and keep working. So after Hurricane Harvey, I actually submitted some paperwork because I actually did, my house got flooded. We lost a lot of things. I lost my laptop, a whole bunch of stuff. So I actually submitted to an appeal committee, I'm sorry. And they actually took away 2 of the Fs that I made because they were, because it was during Hurricane Harvey. So they were actually really, really nice about that. They took those away. So my GPA increased a little bit, okay? But here's what happens. After Hurricane Harvey, you know, my parents, we move around a lot. I'm staying with a friend, and then we move to my uncle's house, and then we're moving here and there and then there. It's a lot going on. Then we finally move into the place I'm living now, which is the house that I grew up in. And eventually it's kind of like time for me to leave the nest. You know, my parents are kind of giving me that little bit of nudge. You know, I'm kind of back. I didn't finish school, so I'm just kind of hanging out, community college. And, you know, they're kind of like, okay, girl, you got to, you know, pick it up. So I have to move out. It's about that time. You know, my parents are giving me that feeling. So I move out. It's 2018. You know, it's the end of 2018. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. So October 2018, I actually end up moving into an apartment complex with one of my closest friends. And I basically stop school and I just go straight to work. I'm just working every day. And I'll be honest, I had a great job. I loved it. I was a server. I was making great money. Seriously, y'all, I was making great money. Like, I was making well over $20 an hour. Okay. People don't even make that with degrees. You know, I was making well over $20 an hour. I would average, honestly, almost 30 something dollars an hour. I would say about $25, $26 to $27 an hour. I mean, there were slow seasons, but honestly, whenever you did make money, you made so much money, it kind of made up for all of that. So 2018, I'm really just, you know, enjoying life, just kind of living, working, traveling. Honestly, I did a lot of traveling. I'm a traveler. So, you know, I went to a lot of places, studied abroad. I did a lot of stuff. So then we enter 2019, right? The end of 2019, I'm actually on vacation in Thailand. I come back, I'm super sick. I'm like sick for so long. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I so sick? I end up missing Thanksgiving, a whole bunch of other stuff. And then comes, I get into a relationship actually December 2019. It was great. And then 2020 happens, right? March of 2020 happens. And we all know what happens in March of 2020. COVID hits and everything is shut down. Restaurants are shut down. Offices are shut down. Everything is shut down. Cool. Whatever. Unemployment happens, right? And unemployment, if you were on unemployment during that time, you know that you were getting paid pretty well. You know, you were making a little extra money, and then we weren't spending a lot because we were in the house. So honestly, at that time, I was stacking my paper. And then, of course, it clicked, you know, 2020, I'm like, okay, it's March of 2020, it's the spring. I have all this extra income. I'm not working. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to school. So I go back to school. I start summer of 2020. I start with my physical education class again. I can't even tell you how many times I took that damn class. 4, 5, 6 times. I failed them all. I got all Fs until the summer of 2020. I come back in. I take PE and I get an A. Okay. Summer of 2020, I take 3 classes actually. I also take Texas government. I'm looking at my iPad. Texas government. I take that in the summer. I get an A. 2020, I start working on my prerequisites as well for dental hygiene. And that's when I start really like focusing on my dental hygiene degree. I go back and look at the website and figure out what the prerequisites are that they need for me and what I need to take, okay? Then I actually went back and started retaking classes that I failed. That is really, really important. I started retaking classes that I failed, okay? In my dental hygiene school, you can retake a class more than once without them taking a point away. But after you have to take a class over more than once, if it applies for the program that you're applying to, you will actually get points taken away. So it's always best to like do your best in the first class, get an A the first time. But yeah, I started working on my prerequisites. Let's see, let's do basics first. The basic prerequisites that they want from you are English 1301, Biology 2401, Sociology, and four credit hours of electives. That's what they want as like your basic prerequisites, okay? But we all know, just because that's what they say, they want more from you, okay? They actually want you to also take anatomy 1 and 2. They want you to take chemistry as well. I took introduction to chemistry, and they also want you to take sociology, principles of sociology. And you also have to take an HSRT, which is a health science reasoning test, okay? And that's something that you can go take these like, there's like these, it's like a test that based your oh my God, I can't talk. It is a test that, that determines your like reasoning skills, basically. There's a little app, a critical thinking app that you can download and go through and practice with. But for the most part, you can actually prepare for the HSRT. So that's kind of one of those tests. You can do the little practice questions, but you know, it's all about your reasoning and how you reason as a person. Okay. Then they also wanted us to do 20 hours of dental hygiene observation hours. But because we were in the middle of a pandemic, they actually scratched those. I still did my observation hours. Even though they said we weren't going to do them, I still did my observation hours. One, because I wanted to make sure that this was the career that I wanted to get into. Okay? I didn't want to see, like, could you imagine you go into it and you're like, oh my God, this is the worst. No. I went in there, I realized I shadowed a dental hygienist, and it's so crazy because the office that I went into, I called them, I was like, can I shadow please? And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll talk to somebody or whatever. I ended up going up there, and the dental hygienist that I shadowed graduated from the same program that I got accepted into. So before we did the shadowing, I'm like, oh my God, this is so meant to be. And I'm shadowing her, and she was so good at her job. She was so precise, and she was very, very, very like to the T about the things that she did with her notes and everything. So it was just like really, really encouraging, and it made me feel like I could really do this job. So I still did my observation hours, even though they were waived. Hours that you collect are valid for 3 years. So that was awesome to actually read. I didn't even realize that. So if you did it and you needed to reapply for the next year, then you could still use those same observation hours. You wouldn't have to repeat those. So that's awesome. But let's go back, right? Let's go back to the beginning. So 2014, I graduate high school, right? And then I go into community college for 2 years. I do speech and debate at community college, working on my communications degree. And then I transfer over to 4-year college on a speech and debate scholarship. And I'm there for a year, and I actually knock out some of my prerequisites for the dental hygiene program before I knew I was getting into dental hygiene. I took like an ethics class, a sociology class, and I think my English 1302 there. So those transferred back. So after I after I'm there for a year, I come back to community college, and that's in 2017. And Hurricane Harvey happens, you know, things get a little tough. I fail quite a few classes, and things are looking pretty bad. So I kind of start digging my way out of my hole. I go to a dental hygiene meeting in 2018, and that's when they had the physical meetings that you can go to in person. And I go in person, I'm like, okay, this is something I can do. It's 2 years. I was a little nervous though, because I realized how competitive it was. It was crazy. At that time, they were only admitting 15 students. Okay, my class, the 2024 class, is the first class of 24 students. So I was very lucky for my year. You know, I got really lucky. So they're hiring, they're not hiring, they're accepting 8 more people, right? If I can do math right. So yeah, so 2018, I go to the meeting, and I'm like, okay, this is something I can do. But then, you know, that's when my parents are like, okay, it's time for you to move out. You know, they're kind of nudging me to move out the nest. And so I move out, and when I move out, I'm with my brother, and he kind of leaves me a little high and dry. So basically I stop everything and just go to work so I can pay my bills. So that's 2018. 2019 comes around. I'm still, you know, I'm back on my feet. Everything's great. I'm just working, you know. And then 2020 happens. And then we know what happens in 2020. The pandemic happens. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, I'm stacking this money, you know, I'm unemployed. Like, what do? I go back to school starting summer of 2020, and I buckle down, you know, I start getting straight A's for the most part. I get an A in anatomy and physiology, 1 in Anatomy Physiology 2 in my interpersonal communications class, and basically most of my prerequisites except for statistics. And statistics actually wasn't even calculated into being accepted into the program, because that was a prerequisite for the dual credit program, and I'll make a video about that. I'll make a separate video about that. And yeah, 2020 I'm applying or finishing up my prerequisites, and yeah, I finished statistics at the end of 2021, which was like my last prerequisite for me since I was doing the dual credit program. And you basically submit your application the beginning of the next year. And oh, I forgot, I also have to take my HSRT, my health science reasoning test. It's like a $15 test you take at the school. And I'll be honest with y'all, I did not do well on my HSRT. I did not do well on my HSRT. No, I actually got a 20, which is really bad, because I think you can actually get a 40 or 50 or something like that. So I did not do well at all. I only got 2 points instead of, like, I think a maximum of 4 points, which I could have gotten on my score sheet for getting accepted into the program. But because I think I did so well on my prerequisites and I didn't have to repeat any classes more than twice, they didn't take off any extra points on my score sheet. Okay, and maybe one day I'll run down the score sheet as well. We'll make like a little separate, more detailed video about all of that, like score sheet. I'll do one about the interview. I'll do one about like stuff that I bought, all the things that I purchased for school, what I needed for school, and like a total cost of everything as well. So I'll get really detailed. I just really wanted to put this like general video out there as like a beginning video. You know, I got into dental hygiene school, and you can too. You know what I mean? I did not have straight A's, you know what I mean, the whole time. I made some F's. I had a dip in my GPA, you know? So do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. I want y'all to get into dental hygiene school too. I'll be honest, it was so nerve-wracking. Okay, y'all, I went into the interview and I was like, or after the interview, I was like, there is no way I'm getting into the school. There is no way. I was so discouraged. I was like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'll try next year or whatever. And then I got that acceptance email. Oh my God. It was seriously the best day ever. So seriously, just keep striving and keep working towards your goals, and you can reach them. You can absolutely reach your goals. Yeah, so I'm just really excited to start this journey. I can't wait to make more videos. I'll probably do a more detailed interview about, a more detailed video about my score sheet. I'll do a score sheet video, and then I'll do an interview video as well. Because the interview, we did like it was supposed to be a panel interview. That's what I was expecting, but I think due to COVID and they just wanted to switch it up, that they actually did 6 individual interviews basically with a professor in the program or a director of the program. So no, actually it wasn't the director of the program, it was just professors in the program. So yeah, I'll do a detailed interview about that and how I passed that. But honestly, the real reason I got in is because I did really well on my prerequisites. You have to make A's in those sciences: chemistry, anatomy, physiology 1 and 2, medical microbiology, medical terminology. What was it? Yeah, medical microbiology. Those things you have to get A's on. Those things you have to, like, that is the core of the subject, you know, you're going to be studying. So I think if you do that and you do well in your interview, you're kind of a shoo-in, because I didn't do the best on my HSRT. I got 2 out of 4. That's not good at all. 50. I basically had 50%. So yeah, and I'll run down the score sheet and do all that a little later. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you've been watching this whole time, I know I'm a rambler, so I hope you've enjoyed. I hope I've given you some very, very good information. I hope I've encouraged you a little bit as well. So look out for the next video. I'll probably be doing like my score sheet or the interview. We'll see.